Hi guys, Ollie here. Welcome back to the channel. It's currently 4:05 a.m. I'm super tired. Sorry if I look awful, but today, or at least yesterday, my same functional day, I've been awake the whole time. We finished for the Christmas holidays, so we had our mock OSCEs, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So what an OSCE is, for those of you who aren't familiar with the concept, I certainly wasn't before coming to med school. Certain professions, so if you imagine doctors specifically, are required to be able to do certain physical examinations as well as just know a load of academic theory, and you obviously have to be tested on those, and an OSCE, or I think it's either objective or observed structured clinical examination, are the way that these are usually assessed. So the structure of an OSCE is that you will be given some task to perform, which might be, say, perform an abdominal exam on the patient that is in the room. You'll be given a time limit to do that. So for us it was 7 minutes per task. You will then receive feedback, usually from your examiner, and then you'll move on to the next task, and you'll do this however many times for the remainder of the session. And this is obviously the way that these physical competencies are assessed. You have an examiner who knows what they're looking for, who watches you doing what you're supposed to be doing on a patient. So this is the first time we've actually had any OSCEs. We've known about them because we've been practicing the clinical skills. So far we have learned the examinations for the thyroid, the abdomen, a general exam, a respiratory exam, and a cardiovascular exam. So these are sort of physical reviews of a patient beyond just taking a history. You can actually kind of go in, have a palpate around with your hands, check for certain signs and symptoms that you might be looking for. So different people have different systems, but the way that I approach mine was I like to start with the hands and nails, and then move up the arms to the neck and to the face and mouth, and then everything for me from there is the chest downwards. And I will make more videos on OSCEs and what they're like to do. I might try and show you a sample OSCE station if I can get one recorded, for those of you that are interested. And these were purely formative, the ones that we've had, but I kind of wanted to get my thoughts down on video. That's why I'm recording this now at just gone 4 o'clock in the morning the day after, so it's still fresh in my mind because I've been talking to people and thinking about it myself, and I just want to get this down on video for posterity. So I guess the thing is, we don't know in advance what it is we're going to be asked to do, only the pool of things from which the task can be drawn. And so we might have learned how to do a respiratory exam, but they might only ask us to do part of it, for example. So there are things like that that can throw you off. And how did I feel I did in my mock OSCEs that I had today? Some people had them on Tuesday, some people had them on Wednesday, so I was actually in the last slot for all the OSCEs, and I think I did okay. Some of the stations I think I did pretty well. One of the stations, which was a very basic station that I should have found easy, I think if I failed any of them, it's probably that one, because I just made some stupid mistakes. But I really enjoyed it. It's the first chance we've actually had to be properly examined on our clinical technique. It was a really good learning experience. The examiners were really nice, really helpful, and the feedback they gave was really focused and constructive. They never, or at least in my case, they never said you're useless, you'll never be a doctor, that sort of thing. They were like, here's some things you did well, and here's some things you could maybe do better next time. And I'll talk a bit more about this, I think, in the wrap-up video I do at the end of the week. But the key thing for me from my first set of mock OSCEs is that the failures that I made, or the things that I got wrong, I don't feel like they were due to a lack of competence or knowledge. I went in and I knew what I was looking for. And in the stations where I did well, I felt really confident about that. The mistakes that I made were the result of nerves. They weren't academic mistakes. I'm trying to think of a way of explaining this without revealing what we actually did. I was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which is perfectly standard for this sort of thing. But Yeah, safe to say the mistakes I made were not due to lack of academic knowledge. I understood the system and I knew what I was supposed to be doing. I either got flustered or was nervous and skipped over something. And most of the time I managed to actually catch myself, because as long as you indicate that you knew what you were supposed to do, you'll get the marks. But I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a formative experience. They were formative OSCEs, and that is exactly what it was, a formative experience. And in a weirdly kind of masochistic way, I did really enjoy it. Some people hated it, but in general, the feeling that I get from the year is that certainly the people that I've spoken to, we feel the same way, that actually once we got in there and got doing it, it was bizarrely enjoyable. And it was a really good learning experience, and the mistakes that we made were not because we didn't know the material. I think at this point, the clinical stuff, that's why everyone's come to med school. You could learn the theory in another degree, but this is the stuff that I think a lot of people, myself included, actually want to be good at. And feedback is really, really important. So I think it's really good that we got that really positive and constructive feedback. So that's where I'm going to leave that for now. I'll wrap up. I didn't want this to be a long video. I've just come back from seeing Star Wars The Last Jedi. We saw the midnight showing and it finished at 2:45. Really good movie. Go see it. It's a great Star Wars film made for Star Wars fans. And I'm not even the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. You know, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy for my epic sagas, but I really had a good time and you should definitely go see it. Anyway, I need to go and sleep because we're going to the Birmingham Christmas markets tomorrow and I'm going to be absolutely shattered. So thanks guys, take care, and I'll see you at the weekend. Bye bye.